We've got the School Days Oracle, and we've also got a Marchetti one. So let's see what's going on. The School Days wanted to come through first, so we're going to take a look at that. And then we'll put the Marchettis now. The Gilded one, the Marchetti from, I think it's the Divine Legacy or the Gilded Legacy from Cyril Marchetti. It's an interesting one, and you'll see why in just a minute. School Days for Gloria. What is it? It feels like there's a lesson from the past that you're ready to learn or acknowledge again. This is huge coming through. All right, what's going on? Oh, this is about why you moved on from something in the past. Now let's take a look. We've got discovery, disaster, and departure. There's something big in here. The reason that it felt so tricky, the reason it was so tough, you're looking at this again through a new lens. Absolutely looking through a new lens. This is saying discovery, discovery. What are you discovering? The disaster. And why you left a certain situation. Why it wasn't for your highest good. Why you were drawn to a certain situation. It's like, sometimes, you know, when the bad boys get our attention and we're drawn to them, and then we have a difficult love lesson that comes through on that regard. Sometimes that's a lesson. It's like how to choose wiser, or why to not choose the bad boy when he doesn't serve our higher good. It feels like we need cards right here. And then we'll fill out the corners on this. Yeah. Somebody was stingy as far as this goes. Stinginess and teamwork. Somebody's only way of operating was super, super selfish. And you wanted to do teamwork. You gave somebody more credit than they were due. And this is something that you need to review. Look at again. Look at how you choose people around you. Now, I'm telling you, this doesn't just apply to relationships that are romantic relationships. This also applies to how you're investing your time with your family and friends currently, and maybe some of the relationships that you've outgrown. There's something about this that you might be the one that gives and gives and gives, and you're over giving to certain people, and there needs to be a reset, a re-leveling of the playing field. There needs to be a departure from this over giving. Now let's see what Marchetti has to say on this. I'm going to fill out the four corners. I'm going to flip this back down so you can see. This one, sometimes I think I should get a second one of, because it's so intriguing to me. I may have to do that. Okay, what's coming through right here is there's something in the machine that's clogging up the gears, and it's really getting in the way of you making magic, or creating luck for yourself. There's something... There's one of the cogs in the machine is stuck. It's stuck. There's something that won't allow the gears to grind forward. Something not allowing it to go forward. Not allowing you to proceed to dial in the success until you leave this behind. This is huge, huge, huge. This going this way. It's like you have the key to the box, but you aren't able to access the key until you let yourself ask, and stand for what is more fair for yourself. So you will keep pouring from a pitcher until it's empty and dry, and keep trying to pour and keep trying to pour, but you'll wear yourself way too thin, way too ragged doing that. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. If you want the key, you need to take care of yourself and ask for what is really, really fair. Be it work, be it friends, be it family members, whatever the case is. There's a new way that you must operate if you're going to go this way. Then look at this. Then you are really the one. You're not the one carrying the burden. You are the one that is sitting pretty. You're the one that is encircled and cared for and held, instead of being the one that's trying to hold up the world and hold everyone else up all the time. This is different for you. Then you allow more teamwork in. Now look at this. This is gorgeous. This is a rebirth of something new coming in for you. This is the way you've contemplated how your human experience has been so far, and the way the planets are lining up. There's something astrological going on for you that shifts. This is almost like the death card, where there's death and rebirth coming, and the time is really, really close at hand. What? Mo is in the house. Mo is one of my guides, and she's flashing me the peace sign, the peace sign, the peace sign. What are you doing there, Mo? She wants you to be aware of the next 2 weeks in particular. Yeah, there's something that you need to be bringing more peaceful energy and standing for your own for the next 2 weeks. This is something that you are learning to get disciplined about. This consistency will be hard for you, but you need to dedicate yourself to yourself for 2 weeks. And then look at this. Oh my God, the beautiful change. You'll understand. You go from duckling to swan. You understand. You're starting to treat yourself like swan, 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 swan. You're no more in alignment for this old pattern. Swan, swan, swan. If you're bird in a fishbowl, get out of the fucking fishbowl. The fish are never going to appreciate the fact that you're a bird. If you're bird in the fishbowl, if you're black sheep, if you're duckling to swan, all of these analogies, all of these metaphors you've heard me use before, it's time to understand that a bird can't fly in a fishbowl anyway. Get out of the fucking fishbowl. You need to ditch some of the friends that don't serve, some of the friends that only take, and you need to really be in this place where you're giving heavily to yourself. That's what I've got. That's complete. That is gorgeous. Good luck on that, Gloria. That is fantastic for you. Really, really, really fantastic. I love it. That's what I've got. So hopefully that's helpful for you. Okay, I'm going to get a little water. And Kim, if you'll tell me who's next, that would be great. Sandra for the bones. Ooh, okay, Sandra. We haven't done bones in a while. Okay. You're welcome, Gloria. You are so, so welcome. Not a problem at all. All right. So this is, I think it's the Naked Heart reading cloth. I know I get reluctant to say that word even just because of the pickiness, but that's the name of the tarot deck, and they made a specific reading cloth, and I love to do my bones reads on it. So let me get my bones out. And the cards that I like to use with those. There's some specific ones. There they are. All right. Yeah, we will use some of the Naked Heart reading cards themselves. Possibly the Antique Anatomy. We'll see if we need to go that far in. All right, let's see what's going on. I'll put this here for now. All right. Okay. For Sandra, the bones read. I want to lay the cards first. And I have the regular bones and the shadow bones in here. Yeah, my dad about tripped out when I told him, yeah, I rattled off what I usually rattle off for my reads and stuff, and that includes bones of crystal ball and past lives. And I'm sure he was like, whoa. What's going on? Really a big handful. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. I want to bring this down so you can see, hopefully you can see it pretty good. And I'm getting it recorded. I'm trying to set up the iPad to record this pretty good. We'll get this here. Okay. So this is what's going on in the center. You've got the Three of Pentacles coming up here. And as soon as this came up and as soon as I saw it, the ants go marching one by one would come through. Of course it would come through. The story of the grasshopper and the ant, all of this. But this is something where the work is important and doing the work is important. And a little at a time and a little at a time and a little progress at a time. The Eight of Swords above is coming through more like that flavored 3 where there's been knowledge or heartbreak given. And then there's something about the limiting beliefs that are still hanging on like residue and they need to be cleared like cobwebs away from what's going on in your mind. The Six of Swords is saying you're traveling to somewhere that is a smoother time, smoother waters. You're leaving some of this rough stuff behind. Now, in the recent past, you've had the Knight. And I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to pull this out real quick. But it's the Panther with the swords. This Panther is really stealth, quick, sharp. Sometimes this has to do with the way we communicate. But sometimes it's just the action we take. And sometimes we're a little bit reckless. But sometimes that's what it takes to get us out of the situation. The stealth energy is coming through here. When you see the two that are joined like this and the two that are joined like this is where there is like a friendship energy, a holding together. It's almost like the Three Amigos, but not quite. And it's two that are held together. These are held together here. Strongly, strongly shadow lessons. This feels like shadow lessons in the past energy, in the past. I would say 6 to 8 months. There's shadow lessons where you should have been getting some more groundedness, and some of the higher lessons, somebody didn't want to move forward, so you stealthily left a place. This is what's going on. And the naked truth of it is you're ready to express yourself differently, to express your truth more clearly. Your truth is coming through here. It's coming through here. There's something about this green that wants to come through the heart and the blue through the throat. This is coming through in big, big energy. You have to go solo in order to make your own way, to make your own path to move forward. Now here you have the King of Swords way over here. And this is the more adult panther, the one that's really, really knows how to hunt, knows how to get what they want, knows how to go for it. But you've had to redirect your energy a little time, little time, little time. And it feels like there has been a little bit of death of a million paper cuts, that kind of thing. A little bit of heartache, 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 heartache. Again, this Eight of Swords is coming through. Very, very thorny. Why is this? Because you knew of a truth and you were sacrificing and sacrificing and ready to do something that would be helpful to others. They didn't understand your gift. They didn't understand the sacrifice that you had made. They didn't understand what it was that you were trying to offer. You felt very misunderstood. But going forward, you're offering a little bit at a time. There will be healing going forward in this new direction. In the work that you're going towards, there will be healing in how you operate and how you move through things with others. There's going to be a more emphasis also on the individuation and the creating together. We got the butterfly coming through here as judgment, and usually this is where I tell you to thine own self be true, but the orange is coming in so strongly here, and it's coming in strongly here. It's almost as if this bone right here in the upcoming is, it's got this orange here. It doesn't quite have the yellow in here, but it's coming in, it's coming in, it's coming in. So how you create with others as a team is important, but also how you keep yourself individual is important. The talent that you offer and the way that you offer is going to be a little bit different. You're to keep yourself very, very grounded. Know that your third eye opening and what you're seeing and what the visions are that you see coming forward. You need to allow that through for yourself, but you need to hold them close. Hold them close, hold them close. There's a missing bone here. And I don't even know that I want to fill that one in. I'm going to show you over here. These two right here. This is somebody going their own path. This is somebody that knows how to have their own truth and have it spoken. They're honoring the higher chakras. They're honoring the third eye and the crown chakra going through here. There's a friendship coming in. And usually with the three amigos, there's a missing bone here. These two will balance it out. This is a revisiting of that friendship energy that is really kindred spirits. Really, really important going forward for you. Now, when we have the green coming in here, what do we got here? When we have this one coming in, there's shades of mermaid that come in on this one. I don't know if you can see that one well enough. But that's right here. This is when you let go of the self-sabotage. You let something else in. You're inviting something else in for you. Something that helps you go towards your true north and be true to yourself. What else do we have here? Again, round and round and round. You do not need the balance of the fighting fish. Look at this. This is the Six of Pentacles, but I don't love that they have the fighting fish on here. What you need is the balance of the kindred spirit. And this is where you're allowing somebody that has opposite nature of you or that is very, very different from you to be complementary, not at loggerheads, okay? So some of my sisters are very super different from me, and it's very much about allowing them to be totally them and you to be totally you, and understanding how those two energies would complement each other rather than one needing to be in charge of the other or one being the only way to approach something. This is the beauty when the two fighting fish decide that they aren't going to fight. This is the beauty of allowing the individuation in. Yeah, and this is very, very Atlantean, Lemurian type of energy. There was a reason those civilizations fell. One got a little too big for their britches. And so when one gets in the space of being the know-it-all or thinking they're superior, then that leads to disintegration. And that's not happening anymore. There's something that you're understanding and accepting of yourself. And if somebody else is treating you as equal, then you're going to be on equal footing. You're not going to feel this need to prove self. You're not going to feel this need that they are lesser just because they do it different, or they are better just because they do it different. Either way, no. It's going to be more even-handed. The next thing coming out over here in the cards is this Three of Wands. This is gorgeous. This is waiting for something to come in after having taken action. And it is like there's an invisible third. Again, I'm going to this. I want to go into this 1 second. 1 second. We're going to the Line Strider. It feels like there's an invisible third person. Like there may have been a trio of you, this and you and the trio in times gone past, but it feels like this is third person in spirit. A friend that isn't going in this particular go around in life, but that is there helping you to. The Hierophant, a teacher coming through with all that lavender energy. You better believe it. You better believe it. There's this lavender energy right here coming through. Yeah, a teacher. This is what's going on. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see right here clearly. Yeah, this is the third one. The third one in there. That's what completes that. And this is what you're waiting for, the lessons and the readiness of lessons. You might meet somebody that is at a class or taking a class with you. It may not be a coworker. It may be somebody that's taking a class with you that you just click, you just get. It feels like that's what's going on, and it's super interesting. Super interesting on this. And then let's see what else is going on. The Seven of Wands. There's a little bit of feral ferociousness because you've had to defend. And this is something you're letting go a little bit differently. You're becoming more stealth, like the king here, and not as wild as the bobcat. If you needed to be wild like that, you would. You definitely would. The Judgment card is creating a second chance for you to do your relationships and friendships in a really different way. I was going to say sobering, but I don't think that's the right word. Somber isn't even the right word. It's just a more calm and awakened and gentle way. You make room in your heart for people to be there that are different, and you make room to handle it differently. Now, what else is going on with the bones? Going again to the murky, we're going down to this shadow lesson here. Right here, this one, okay? Look at the difference between this and this. These bones are different. This one has too much blood in the bone, too much sacrifice, too much work, too much giving and over-giving here. So once you know the naked truth of the thing, once that lesson is learned, you move forward. I want one more to see what's going on with these ants. I'm going to go the line strider with this one. Let me show this down here again, and I'll point it out so you can see. This one is the one that was the murky, and this one is the one that had the difference. All right. A little bit of time. Again, the teamwork that's coming in through here. Yeah. Queen of Pentacles. Love it. This is you knowing your value, knowing your worth, knowing exactly what's what, exactly what you've got, exactly what your assets are, exactly what you bring to the table. Knowing that it's a gift and bringing that forward rather than having somebody not acknowledge or not take time to understand the gift and hoping and pleading or wishing and wanting that they would understand. No, you just are more in this accepting place rather than expectation. It's more accepting and awareness. This is how it is. This is how I roll. This is how I'm doing. And there's not a need for change on either end of the situation. So that's what I've got. That feels very complete. The lesson is in allowing this to come forward in a huge way here. That's what I've got. That feels very complete. Holy smokes. And that one's recorded. So that one's great. Super great. I love that for you. I love that. In fact, I'm going to break after this, and then we'll go to the next one.